Hey guys, Overpowered from Overpowered Games, and today we're going to be making the tutorial for Roblox hunting season with the update. So a lot has changed with the update, and we got a lot of support from my first video, and it's really just a basic video, but this time you should be able to hear me a little bit better, and we're going to go through all the ins and outs. So first things first, just the update just came out a couple weeks ago. Data got wiped, which that was really disappointing. But honestly, with all the changes, I'm super glad it happened. Kind of got over the disappointment quickly and went right into playing the game again. So the first thing is locations. So if you press the M button, if you're on PC, you can get a map, and there's going to be three different locations to be able to spawn, and you unlock these by literally just walking up to them. So the first one that you go to is Crystal Lake. Then you can go over here to Robert's Lodge, and there's Aspen River. These three spots have not changed since the last update. But to unlock them, you have to walk over to them. So next thing is you're going to be. Let's talk about the firearms here. So quickly, all of these different rifles. So it's have a little bit more stats now. So now we see with the Remington 700, the energy that's like the power essentially is extremely high. The velocity's up there. Don't worry about the magnification because that's on the scope. The noise, I have a suppressor, so that's a huge difference. And the recoil. So when I am looking at building my gun, thermal scope is like by far the absolute best one. But for the tutorial today, I'm not going to use that because that is a game pass. So I'm going to be using the Scout 6, which is a really good one. The clear view is actually pretty good as well, but this is going to be nice for the video. But the thermal scope is by far one of the best game passes I've ever received. The suppressors are huge. They are helpful. They're just mainly cool, but don't think you're going to be able to shoot and have no consequences if you miss, or if you think you're just going to be able to take out an entire herd. So that's a good thing to know. Also, binoculars. The rangefinder has been added, a very cool feature to kind of get your ranges. I would like to see maybe a shooting range be put into the game so we can kind of see exactly like which gun is hitting where exactly. To right now, you can't really see bullet impacts anywhere or anything like that, so keep that in mind. Alright, let's move on. So next thing is you'll have to buy ammunition, so you can buy ammo right there. So I've just bought my, I didn't, this is a new update. You can actually buy different rounds, and they each have different specialties. That's really interesting. We may want to do that later. But for now, we're just going to use a full metal jacket because that's the standard. And overall, Remington 700 is going to be pretty similar. It's going to have a little bit more power than the 223 that you start out with, but you can get just as many kills. So don't worry about it. If you're a low rank, don't worry. These guns are all pretty similar for the most part. So don't get it into your head that you're not going to be able to do well. Alright. So next up is I really emphasized in my last tutorial of taking your time, and this still reigns definitely true. With a thermal scope, it's super easy. You can run around. You go crazy because you see exactly where everything is, and it really doesn't matter. But it still definitely matters if you're running the old school. So you press shift on PC to sprint, and you don't want to be sprinting a lot usually, but I do usually sprint a little bit out the gate. If I can see look around my surroundings and see everything, and B, if I'm just trying to get to a spot. So one of my favorite spots to hunt personally in the game is Aspen River. So right over here, this is a fantastic place where my mouse is going. That's going to be a fantastic place to hunt. Everything is pretty good though. I'd say everything is pretty equal. So don't get into your head too much. Oh, but we already have a vocalization and it's a male. And So in that top right corner, so those vocalizations you can track, those are huge. Those are better than tracks in my opinion, because those are real time. Hey, it's right here, because they can move so fast. And let me take a quick second before we go over here. Let's talk about the shooting points of the deer. One of the first things I always like to bring up is a diagram. So I'll show you real quick. This is kind of the critical spot to shoot a deer in real life, and that translates to the game. In the game, if you shoot him right here, like in the nose, it's not going to count as a critical hit. Even like up here doesn't count, and like back here won't count. It is a sweet spot. So do not like get. It's hard not to get frustrated. Just like I shot him in the head, and like you probably did. Like the answer is you probably did, but it was just counted as a flesh shot. Same with this is like, it can be a little bit funky, but right there is the sweet spot. So just keep that in mind. We had to get that out of the way. And in the update now, basically a deer can bleed, but then it can heal over time. So that is with the lower caliber rifles. Oh wow, look at that. Whoa, we already have 2. Okay, so I could just shoot him right here, and honestly I might just take this shot. So we're gonna take this shot. We're gonna wait. So I can tell there's a little bit of lag, and when there's a little bit of lag, I'm gonna wait a little bit more. And you guys all saw me buy rounds, but it looks like it didn't actually purchase them. So that's fun. So that's extremely frustrating. So I do not have any bullets, it looks like, which is really fun. So I have to go back to the lodge, buy bullets real quick, and then we're gonna go back out there. You know, I was thinking the hunt was too easy, but let's not waste any time. I'll kind of tell you a little bit more about the game as well. So the ebbs and flows of everything, there's going to be a couple handfuls of pockets of just one-off deer, but there's usually 1 or 2 big herds of deer, and these herds are what you need to be tracking. So sometimes it's not even worth shooting the lone deer. Oh, I see. Okay, so you have to select that as well, so you can't just, I did not know that. So alright. Alright, so luckily we were close. And we didn't spook them, so if you notice, I kind of walked away first. I thought I saw something. Nope. Okay. So they're not going to just sprint off, usually. They're going to walk until you make them gallop most of the time. But you do remember these guys go in herds, so when you hear that mating call of a doe, you might not want to kill a doe, but that doe might lead you to a bigger buck, and that is what you're going to be after. Like if you're going to shoot a doe, it's fine, but truly they're worth like a very small fraction of the points that a buck is going to be worth, and on top of that, it's just gonna scare the rest of them off. So right now, I'm kind of just looking around. Okay, there, we've kind of locked in again. So now I see my target. Still kind of, right now I'm walking, because I can see how far I am. And see if it's a buck or not. And it is a buck. It's a smaller buck, though. But for the purpose of video, I'll probably take him. So, if you remember the diagram, right about there is a sweet spot. We could go for a headshot, but that's going to be super risky. So, we're going to take a nice, clean body shot. Okay. And then, since I have a good beat on him, I'm just going to take another one. And he's still going a little slow. We'll try one more. Okay. So now we have shot this guy definitely 2 times, possibly 3. And we will see from the ballistics once we actually find him. So right now he's bleeding. He's running. And that's good. We kind of look over here. You can kind of see him. Yeah, they're all stirred up now. And I kind of expected that. So now it comes time for the tracking. So this is the most difficult part, in my opinion. It's like, hey, we need to find the tracks that you shot him with. This might be the first deer I saw, but was not able to shoot. Because I'm pretty sure I saw him over here. If you really want to find the tracks. So we're going to be looking. This might be him. Yep, I'm thinking this is him. This is more the vicinity. Yep, he's bleeding. Now you see that? That top right designation. I just pointed to the screen. So you can see here, he was not bleeding here. I shot him probably right here. And then we follow through. We're like, okay, now he's bleeding. Now we're following through these tracks. Now you can run if you want to, but just know if you run, like you do, kind of take away your chances from taking anything else. But another part of the update too is, I'll mention it while we're tracking this, is mooses also have the ability to heal. Well, they had that beforehand, but now they have critical points as well. So you can also just pull up like a moose diagram. It'll probably be pretty close. But with those bad boys, you're gonna want to shoot them as many times as you can. They're huge. But yeah, you need to, like, as I said with the last video, what has not, like, they added a bunch of new stuff. They added a bunch of new tools. They added new toys, which is super fun. And they did add that deer can heal. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm trying to find my next track. I feel like this is it. Yep, this is it right here. That's weird how that worked. But yeah, this is kind of the tough part. This is like the monotonous part, is like, if your shot was not clean, so I think mine possibly just missed the lungs slightly, which is really annoying. But if you see where like the gallop like distance is, that like is a super, that last number, that 400 yards, and probably like 4 more sets of tracks, it's going to go to 300 yards. Maybe a little bit more than that, but we'll see. Whoop, he changed directions on us. Yep, 300 yards right there. So now we see, like, okay, so he's dead now, is what that is telling me for the most part, probably. That he's probably dead, because it's just like how the game works is it's just tracking the time to him. Whoa. And as I'm sitting here, there he is. There, look at that. Look at that. Just always be looking around. That's another thing about this game is you want to understand, just like in real life hunting, is vigilance. Is just always kind of looking around, understanding your surroundings. Like, look at that. Look at that right there. That is a nice one too. That's at least a gold, I would say. So we're gonna leave this guy here. Okay, we're going to make. Okay, I can see the distance of where he is, so that is why I'm kind of running. Okay, so now we're in vocalization. He's mating calling, so we could even stake him out a little bit too if we wanted to. But wow, he's a really good looking guy too. So we're gonna get a little bit closer, and here's where the rangefinder comes in. If it's under like 200 meters, yeah, there's gonna be no bullet drop. So we're golden for a shot. So we're gonna, and remember this is velocity, so lead it just a little bit. So he's hurt. You can tell him. You see how he's moving, like galloping, like kind of wobbly. So I did shoot him. He's hurt. We're gonna watch him. Just a little bit more. Let that shot out a bit. I'm always curious in the ballistic reports. So he's running himself out, but he's gonna die. That's just great news. But as you noticed, I wouldn't have got that if I didn't look around, if I wasn't taking my time, really being aware of my surroundings, understanding where things were. Like even this is like, nope. So now we look at the actual deer itself. And let's look at the ballistics. Remember, I said I know I shot it twice, and I think I shot it for a third time, but I don't know. So the first one that I hit, let's see where I hit. And this is always good for you, just to kind of understand what you've done. So I was a little high, as you can see, because I remember he was an angled shot. And the second one, yep, I did shoot him. And I did not hit him for that third time. That is unfortunate, but understandable. And then you can go to your harvest by clicking on your menu. Going over here to see some of my harvests. Okay, so now that that's done, let's go ahead and track this other guy. Because after you shoot him, you know, everything else is just, you know, kind of a waiting game. So I'm gonna go over here. And this game is so peaceful. It's so nice. You really, like, the people who really succeed in this game are the ones who are just, like, okay with just walking around the most. So, that's another male mating call. Now I'm just like, well, do you want to go track that guy? Do you want to, like, keep looking for these tracks? Because, now, I know it's Roblox, but I still do, like, I hate moving on to the next thing until I find the guy I shot. Man, this is the tough part. This is like, you know, because where did I shoot him? Man, there's so many. If you just kind of, another thing is too is always get a private server. They're free. It's all the same data and XP. So keep that in mind. Aha. Nope, that's not him. So it's kind of the rub, as you're going to find out, as you're like, well, it's kind of annoying finding the tracks, but look hard enough, you'll find them. Be really just vigilant. Yeah. Another thing is too is like, hey, there's something else. Like, look at this guy right here. You can always, we're gonna go for a crazy headshot. Is that it? That might not have. We'll see. Yeah, he moved a little bit, so I think he's either didn't hit him at all or nailed him, and he's gonna be over there. But oh wait, hold on. This might be our guy. No, I don't think this is very old. Holy shit, man, we are really like. Okay, that was bullshit. That did not kill him instantly. Sorry for my language. But we all saw that, right? Like, sometimes I'm like, I love this game. The developers even kind of support my videos. But man, sometimes I'm just like, guys, what is happening? And that's definitely one of those things. So with the headshots, I'm like, all right, that was like a perfect shot, dude. So, all right, we got him at least. He's already 800 meters away. How, dude? We're gonna track this guy well in the video. But yeah, you're. So game passes of like worth it versus not worth it. We'll do real quick. So let me throw up the game pass list here. So the game pass list that I think is really worth it is Enhanced Hunter, very good. It's a really good one, and Thermal Scope. Both of these are great. Like it's gonna give you this like distance and stuff. Honestly, I kind of even forgot like that's not even a regular part of the game. I just bought that immediately. But one of those things that you have to remember is like the thermal scope's incredible, but it does kind of dampen the game, in my opinion. That's why I'm showing you without the thermal scope, because I'm just like, all right, well, that's kind of cheating. It's a really good game pass, though. It's really fun. And it's like one of these games where it's like, it doesn't matter if somebody goes absolute ballistic. It's not ruining it for anybody else, especially in a private server. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, we're already getting 500 meters with him, so we're getting close. That guy was definitely gold. Are you switch directions on me? Always keep looking at those directions. Always keep looking at your surroundings. It's how you find more stuff. And especially if you like play for a while, you'll kill something, like you'll shoot something, and it'll like run off, and you're not gonna find the tracks. And you're like, oh my god. And you just keep playing, and then you'll find it later. Like 9 out of 10 times, you're just like, oh, a random deer that I killed like an hour ago. How fun, you know. So we're gonna keep using these tracks. Tracks are super important. Tracks are helpful. You're gonna keep looking for these mating calls. Alright, we're 300 yards away, so he's dead. So I think that's him. Yep, look at that. Look at that. Also, if you kind of notice my eyes are just went naturally to it, you get accustomed to it. And look at this, dude. Dude, look at this. Yeah, look at that. Perfect shot. Look at that, guys. So I know a lot of people struggle with this game, but it's literally just, it's being aware. It's being aware, being kind of slow and methodical with it, not just shooting at whatever. Oh my god, guys, look at that. 2. That's a pretty small moose, though. But still, nonetheless, we'll end the video once we see what these guys are. So that was a perfect shot with the moose. Just wobbled off. I'm kind of curious. I think because I shot him, we all saw me shoot him in the head. So I'm curious to see what it's gonna see. Yep, it's a bronze. Sometimes your cursor gets lost, so just press escape. You say preserve harvest, continue. It's a great shot though. Look at this guy. It's probably silver actually. No, it's gold. It is gold. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it says I hit. Okay, well either it hit his brain or it didn't. So, oh look at that. I got unlocked suppressor. And then my next shot, I shot him in the neck. So, game, I think you should give me a little bit more credit than flesh for these shots, but you know, it's whatever. But I really appreciate it. So, I just did that. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching my video, guys. Check out your harvest. Press M. Go to harvest. There's bunches of quests that you can do. I don't really like look at these because you're just gonna get these by playing the game. The store, I would not buy the hunting towers. They're honestly stupid. They are in okay spots, and it's not a huge deal. Leaderboard, if you want to track your other progress, great. I have still not been able to. I still don't. I don't know what it is. I cannot find a ruby one yet, which is really disappointing. But anyway, thanks for watching my video, guys. Feel free to drop any comments. Make sure you hit those critical spots. If you feel like you hit it and you didn't, don't get frustrated. Just go find the tracks. You probably hit flesh. Make sure if you are shooting something that's moving, give it a little bit of distance. But also, I would really recommend just waiting it out. Wait till they're still, or just walking at a slow pace. So that's my video. Yeah, and again, just any questions in the comments, I usually answer them within a few days. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you can hear Barry. Have a good one.